The USA, also known as the United States of America, or the US, is a country located in North America. It shares land borders with Canada to the north and Mexico to the south, while also being surrounded by the Pacific Ocean to the west, the Atlantic Ocean to the east, and the Gulf of Mexico to the southeast. With a population of approximately 332 million people, the USA is the third most populous country globally, trailing only behind China and India. But if you want to learn more about the USA, keep watching. Before we get started, click that like button to inspire us. Also, stick around until the end of the video to learn how you can get a free stock photo with our compliments. Long before European contact, various Native American civilizations flourished across the continent. These societies developed complex social structures, including the Iroquois Confederacy, one of the earliest examples of representative democracy in North America. Other notable civilizations include the Mississippian culture, known for its large earthen mounds, and the Pueblo peoples, renowned for their distinctive architecture and artistic traditions. Their cultures and contributions laid the foundation for the rich tapestry of Native American heritage. The story of the USA began in earnest with the arrival of Europeans. In 1607, the first permanent English settlement, Jamestown, was established in what would become Virginia. This marked the beginning of the country's colonial period, which saw the establishment of 13 colonies along the Atlantic coast. These colonies grew and prospered through various forms of economic activity, including agriculture, fur trading, and fishing. As the colonies expanded westward, they encountered and often clashed with the indigenous populations, leading to displacement and conflicts over land. Despite these tensions, the colonies developed a sense of identity, distinct from their European origins. As the 17th century progressed, the relationship between the colonies and Great Britain became increasingly strained. Growing resentment towards British policies, particularly regarding taxation without representation, led to a desire for greater autonomy. Tensions escalated, culminating in the American Revolution. The War for Independence, primarily fought between 1775 and 1783, saw the colonies united in their struggle against British rule. Key figures like George Washington and Thomas Jefferson emerged as leaders during this time. The war effort was supported by the Declaration of Independence in 1776, which outlined the reasons for separation from Britain and the colonies' aspirations for Ultimately, the colonies secured victory with the help of European allies. Most notably, France and Great Britain recognized the independence of the United States. In the aftermath of the Revolution, the newly formed nation faced the task of establishing a stable government. The initial governing document was the Articles of Confederation, but its weaknesses became apparent, leading to its eventual replacement. The Constitutional Convention of 1787, which included delegates such as James Madison and Benjamin Franklin, resulted in the drafting of the U.S. Constitution. This new framework established a federal republic with a system of checks and balances among the three branches of government, namely the executive, legislative, and judicial. The Constitution's adoption in 1788 marked a significant step toward creating a unified and enduring nation. However, the early years of the Republic were not without challenges. Issues such as the national debt, the status of newly freed slaves, and conflicts with Native Americans tested the fledgling government's strength. But the young nation persevered, laying the groundwork for future growth and development. During the 19th century, the U.S. expanded across the continent. Manifest Destiny, a belief in the country's mission to spread democracy and capitalism westward, drove this expansion. The Louisiana Purchase of 1803 nearly doubled the size of the country. Later, acquisitions included the Oregon Territory, Texas, and the Gadsden Purchase. As settlers moved westward, they encountered diverse environments and climates, from the rolling plains of the Midwest to the rugged mountains of the Pacific Northwest. This vast and varied landscape shaped the character of the nation. However, westward expansion came at a great cost. The displacement and mistreatment of Native American tribes is a tragic aspect of this period. As white settlers encroached on tribal lands, conflicts arose, and many tribes were forced to relocate through a process known as the Trail of Tears. Meanwhile, the issue of slavery intensified. The Missouri Compromise of 1820 temporarily eased tensions by maintaining the balance between slave and free states, but it only delayed the inevitable. The mid-19th century witnessed a rising cultural divide between the industrialized and commercial interests of the eastern states and the agricultural interests of the South. The election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860, a candidate opposed to slavery's expansion, triggered the secession crisis. Southern states began seceding from the Union, forming the Confederate States of America. The Civil War that followed was one of the most consequential in American history. The conflict ended with the abolition of slavery and the preservation of the Union. Lincoln's leadership during this period solidified his place as one of the most revered presidents. In the aftermath of the Civil War, the U.S. entered a period of industrialization and urbanization. Factors such as abundant natural resources, technological innovations, and a growing population fueled rapid economic growth. Cities became hubs of manufacturing and commerce. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, connected the nation and facilitated trade. During this era, the U.S. experienced significant immigration, with people from various countries, including Germany, Ireland, and China, seeking new opportunities. The influx of immigrants contributed to the growth of urban centers and the diversification of American society. However, this period also saw the emergence of income inequality and the rise of powerful industrialists and monopolies. Labor movements gained traction as workers sought better conditions and the middle class expanded. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were marked by significant changes. The U.S. emerged as a global power following its involvement in both World War I and World War II. Its victory in World War II, alongside the United Kingdom and the Soviet Union, secured its position as a leader of the Allied forces. This global engagement placed the U.S. at the forefront of international affairs, and it played a pivotal role in shaping the post-war world. In the aftermath of World War II, the Cold War rivalry with the Soviet Union dominated the geopolitical landscape. This era was characterized by ideological conflict, proxy wars, and an arms race rather than direct military confrontation. The U.S. led NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, formed in 1949 as a collective defense alliance against potential Soviet aggression in Europe. Furthermore, the U.S. engaged in a space race with the Soviet Union, aiming to demonstrate technological superiority and advanced scientific knowledge. The competition culminated in significant milestones, including the Apollo program, which successfully landed astronauts on the Moon in 1969. During the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s, African Americans led a transformative movement to end segregation and discrimination. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. advocated for nonviolent resistance to racial inequality. Landmark events such as the Montgomery bus boycott and the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom drew national attention to the urgency of civil rights. The movement's impact extended beyond the United States, inspiring similar struggles for equality and justice worldwide. The latter half of the 20th century saw the U.S. grappling with numerous challenges and events, profoundly shaped its trajectory. The Vietnam War, a divisive conflict that lasted from the 1950s to 1975, deeply polarized American society. The Watergate scandal in the 1970s involving President Richard Nixon's administration eroded public trust in government. The Iranian Revolution of 1979 and the subsequent hostage crisis further strained U.S.-Middle East relations. Economic recessions and inflation also impacted the nation. In response to economic challenges, U.S. presidents implemented various policies. Ronald Reagan's election in 1980 marked a shift toward conservative politics with an emphasis on reducing the size of government and tax cuts. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the subsequent dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 brought an end to the Cold War and ushered in a new era in global politics. As the 20th century drew to a close, the U.S. faced new challenges. The terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, had a profound impact on American society and foreign policy. The U.S. launched the global war on terror, which included military interventions in Afghanistan and Iraq. These conflicts generated ongoing debates about the nation's role in global security. Furthermore, the emergence of China as an economic powerhouse shifted the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region, prompting both cooperation and competition between the two nations. The 21st century has witnessed remarkable technological advancements with the rise of social media, smartphones, and the internet transforming communication and daily life. The U.S. has continued to be at the forefront of innovation, driving progress in fields such as technology and medicine. However, issues such as cybersecurity, privacy, and the ethical use of artificial intelligence have also come to the forefront. Moreover, movements for equality and social justice have continued to evolve. The LGBTQ rights movement has made significant strides, advocating for equal rights and protections for individuals regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. Similarly, the Black Lives Matter movement has shed light on racial disparities and police brutality. sparking nationwide conversations about law enforcement practices and systemic racism. From 9/11 to the tech revolution, the USA continues to evolve in a complex and interconnected world. The nation's story is far from over and its future remains unwritten, offering both challenges and opportunities for generations to come. And that's all for today. We hope you enjoyed learning about the USA. If you did, please click the like button. And if you want to learn more about other countries, we've got you covered. Just check out the playlist where you'll find all of our videos about every country in the world. So sit back, relax, and let us take you on a journey across the globe. Thanks for watching.